Alright, so you guys saw the title and thumbnail of this video, and it was not clickbait. This pile of rusty parts and rusty chassis, or what's left of a car, actually sold a few months back at the 2022 Goodwood Festival of Speed Revival Auction for over $1 million US. That is correct. However, this car has an extremely rich history in racing, and a bunch of different people who you might have heard of actually own this car at one point. But I actually found out about this because I follow Haggerty on Instagram, and I saw this exact post, which eventually led me to this little article that I'm going to edit in right now. So I'll leave that linked down in the description below, because a lot of the stuff that I'm going to be talking about today is in that article as well, and I kind of want to give them credit. However, after reading this, I decided to do a little bit more research and some more digging on this car, and I have to say the actual history behind it is really phenomenal. But before we get into today's video, definitely be sure to leave a like and subscribe down below if you're new. It's absolutely free and helps me out a ton as a smaller YouTuber. But if you're already subscribed, then be sure to click that little bell icon down there as well. That actually does turn on post notifications and helps me out a ton as a smaller YouTuber. I've been going with daily uploads now for like over a month. I've been having a good time. It's been a lot of work, but I do enjoy the positive feedback from you guys. So anyways, without wasting any more time, getting back to the actual subject of today's video, and that was listed on lot 390 of the 2022 Goodwood Festival Speed Revival Auction. Now, apparently, the writer of this article in Haggerty says that for lot 390, this was actually the picture that was advertised with it, which was a picture of Bruce McLaren himself back in the day sitting in this car. However, when he got to lot 390 in person, the rusty pile of junk was actually just sitting there in its place. But that is the original chassis of the car, and this car was actually made in 1961 originally, competing as a single-seater Formula One car. It was the Cooper T53 race car, officially listed on the books, and it had a little Coventry Climax engine in it, and it was actually crashed in the 1961 US Grand Prix. And here's actually a picture of it in the US Grand Prix in 1961 before unfortunately it was actually disqualified because it did not finish because it got into that accident. But after it had that little accident, it was actually sold to an individual who you guys might know, Roger Penske, and he had a lot of success with this car as well. He won at Laguna Seca, Riverside, and eventually the Puerto Rican Grand Prix, and he also had success with it in the SCCA races in America over in Marlboro and Cumberland. Now, after having a decent amount of success with it in North America, Penske actually shipped it across the pond to Great Britain and competed for the very coveted Guards Trophy event at Brands Hatch, and he eventually did win that with this car as well. And then after that, in 1964, the car was actually sold to the one and only Bruce McLaren, and he had his fair share of success with this car himself. It was actually the very first car to brand the famous and iconic Bruce McLaren Racing Team badge on it. So in a way, it was kind of like predecessor to the MC7s and all the different McLarens throughout Bruce McLaren's racing years that he had success with himself. So the car is honestly has a crap ton of history, and it's really responsible for a lot of McLaren success, I guess a little bit of Penske success as well. But it's kind of crazy because at first glance, this rusty little chassis of a car does not seem like much. Obviously, to people just looking at it, you know that it was probably a race car by the size of it and how tiny it is or whatever. But besides, you would have never known if it wouldn't have been a numbers matching chassis or whatever. So it's really crazy that just goes to show you the stuff that goes on auction at Goodwood. But while Bruce McLaren actually still had this car, he modified it. I think he stretched the front a little bit, and he fitted it with a 3.5 liter Oldsmobile V8, which allowed him to have all the success that he had with it. He won again with it at Silverstone, and then he had a couple other notable wins up in Canada at Toronto, and then again at Brands Hatch as well. So this car has won Brands Hatch multiple times, which is pretty incredible. And then after Bruce McLaren was kind of finished with it, he had his stint of success, he actually went ahead and sold it to British F1 driver Dave Morgan, who had it for another like few years or so. But then after a few years of Dave Morgan owning this car, it actually was sold to an unknown South American buyer. Now, it doesn't say anything about this buyer in Haggerty's article, and I actually did a little bit of research myself, and I don't think I was not able to find really any information on this South American buyer. However, there is one individual on my mind. It could certainly be like a far stretch to link these two people together, but honestly, Pablo Escobar, this was like the peak of his time. He was known to collect cars too, so who knows, maybe Escobar actually had his hands on this car, because I don't think a lot of its timeline is really known from like the late 60s, early 70s up until 2022. So while it was down in South America, that's when I think it was actually stripped and everything. And yeah, who knows what happened to this car, and who knows how much more information is out there about this car that, you know, people just haven't found out yet. So needless to say, putting rumors of it belonging to like a cartel or whatever behind us, in 2022 at the Goodwood Festival Speed Revival Auction, it actually sold for a whopping 911,000 British pounds, which roughly equates to just over $1 million US. So obviously people were very interested in this car. They were very interested in the story, and someone with a lot of money wound up buying it for over $1 million US. And apparently the individual that bought it, he's a collector, but also he does actually kind of have some plans to throw on a body that resembles its original like 1961 F1 season Cooper T53 body with like the dark green paint job. So we may very well see it at Goodwood in the following years or coming years, and see it actually on the road driving, which would be pretty damn incredible. But again, that just goes to show you the incredible things that are auctioned off year after year after year at the Goodwood Festival of Speed. I've never been there in my life. Again, I'm from America, so it's kind of tough to get out there, but hopefully that's on my like automotive bucket list right there, is to go to the Goodwood Festival of Speed and just check it out. But yeah, that's pretty much it for today's video. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below of this crazy story behind this little old rusty chassis that sold for over $1 million US. And also, while you're down there, again, definitely be sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff. You guys know what to do. It really does help me out a ton as a smaller YouTuber. But like always, thank you guys so much for all the support. Thanks for sticking to the end of today's video. Hope you have a fantastic day, and I will see you in the next one. If you enjoyed today's video, click on either of these links right here to watch a similar video from this channel, or click on the little circle link right there to actually subscribe to the channel. It's absolutely free. I do appreciate all the support, but thank you for sticking to the end of this video, and I hope you have a fantastic day.